What? You're on mute, Shanat.
Yeah, no, pay no attention.
Okay. All right, let's see if I can do that. So I'm heating up the frying pan. We're gonna fry the tofu. I used, well, in America, you need to use an extra firm just to have like what you get as a medium in Europe. So it's an extra firm. And then I just had it wrapped in a dish towel so to get it get some of the moisture out. Just in medium slices, about 1/4 inch. Oh yeah, now you guys can see. Okay, 2 cameras. This is good. I'm very happy. Okay, so the sauce is simmering away. I'm gonna add the peanut butter. And some shoyu.
So if you could move your big camera so that we see the stove as well. Your computer camera, I think. Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, but well, okay, but then you won't see me. And a little turmeric. Some cumin. And coriander seed powder. So it's a little bit of an Indonesian peanut sauce. Those are the kind of ingredients they use. So the frying pan's getting hot. I'm going to put a little sesame oil. And then I'm adding a little bit of toasted sesame oil for flavor. I have some ginger, and I'm just peeling the ginger. You can also use a small spoon to scrape the skin off. You probably all know that trick, but it's great because you don't lose any of the flesh. Sometimes I still prefer the knife. And then you just want to do thin slices of the ginger, cutting it with the grain. I find if you cut across the grain, it doesn't blend as well. It's fibrous. So. See how the tofu's doing. Yeah, we can go ahead and flip it over.
Does your tofu stick to the pan?
You know, this frying pan is pretty well seasoned, so it's not sticking. The other thing that's helpful is if you heat up the pan and the oil before you put the tofu in, I find it sticks less. This also depends on the pan. All right. I'm going to do a little more ginger. Has anyone made this for meals before? All right, that's cooking well. So then just before we blend the sauce, we're going to add some rice syrup and ginger. Some beautiful spring onions from the farmer's market. Okay. I saw one comment. Let's see, I can't see the chat.
Yeah, I'm monitoring the chat for you pretty well. So
Okay, good.
yeah, it's mostly among ourselves.
No, that's okay. Okay. All right. So the scallion roots are great to use. Chop them up small and use them in a soup.
How do you
A lot of
clean them?
calcium. Huh?
How do you clean them?
Well, these are quite clean,
Yeah.
but I would just cut off the very base. So, and you just use the top part. It's only the very base where you get some dirt. So to season the tofu, we're going to do a little mirin and a little soy sauce. Tofu's almost ready, so that's the best time to season. That way, you know, the soy is not going to burn. once you add the soyu and mirin, then you just flip it over one more time. And voila, our tofu's done.
Et voila.
Okay, then we're gonna, let's see. We're just gonna blanch the carrots. Okay, I think actually the sauce is good. Let's see. Bring the sauce over here. Show you. I can cook it a little bit more after we season it, although that's not really what I found works best. I found that the ginger being added raw gives a much better flavor.
I'd rather hear you and see what you're doing.
Well, you can look to the right, to the small camera, and see.
I guess I don't know how to do that.
Take your eyeballs to the right.
But what was the comment, that better to see what I'm doing or hear what I'm doing? No. Hopefully you can have both.
I have both full screen. Full screen
Okay.
speaker view. I have both.
Well, play around with it and see what you can get.
All right. I have a trusty immersion blender, which works wonderfully. Maybe I'll just mute for a second while I blend it. Okay, so now we have a beautiful creamy peanut sauce. Just have to taste it and see how it is. It's always a little different, of course, but it tastes good.
The raw ginger must make it pretty pungent.
You know, it's not that pungent, and I think that's because all that peanut butter. So actually, I wonder if is that better or worse?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Both are
okay.
good.
It's very, actually the sun's finally coming, but we are amidst the trees, so we don't get a lot of sun until around 10. So I'm just doing the spring onions on a very thin diagonal. Can you get, Khanat, can you get the Vietnamese spring roll wrappers there in Israel?
We get rice paper. I'm not quite sure if that's the same or not.
Yeah, it should be.
Hmm.
I'll show you the ones I have in a minute. They work much better if they have a little bit of tapioca flour in them. So if you have any choice, it's better to buy ones with the tapioca flour.
I'll go bring ours.
Huh?
I'll go bring what we have and see.
Oh, okay. Okay. With the spring onion. And then we're going to quick blanch the carrots. So I'm just going to cut them in thin matchsticks. We'll see if the carrot behaves. It's nice when it will just lay down.
Well, as it happens, I'm all out.
Oh, are you? Okay.
I use it quite a lot.
Okay, you make rolls quite often. Nice. Okay. Do one more. A plate and this wonderful skimmer to take them out in just a little less than a minute. What's wonderful now in America, at some places, not everywhere, but you can get these brown rice spring roll wrapper. These are really delicious.
I think we have those here too.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I think
That's
so.
great.
Yeah.
And otherwise, you know, these are Blue Dragon. These are a little slightly more commercial. But that's just rice flour, tapioca flour, and salt. So I'll take these out. I have some Chinese cabbage as well, but I think I'm going to leave that raw. You could lightly blanch it, but it gets soft so quickly. And I think it'll be nice to have it more crispy. Okay, we have the fresh mint. We have the tofu. Got almost everything ready. Just going to do very thinly the Chinese cabbage. So I'll take out this little core part and I'll chop that finely. Or you could just put it in a soup.
Are there knives that are specifically for left-handed people? Or you have to sharpen it differently?
I think you just sharpen it differently. Yeah. Yeah, and depending on how it's sharpened, it will work better or worse for a lefty like me.
Mm,
Are you a lefty?
no,
No.
we have several lefty friends. They all try to sit next to each other at the dinner table in our potlucks.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Great. So I have the fresh coriander. What's going on? Fresh coriander. So I just took off the little pieces. And with the carrots, the mint, the Chinese cabbage, the tofu, I'll get the noodles. The noodles get a little sticky, but then you can just rinse them again. Put that here. And then you need a bowl of water. So I put cold water and then I just boiled a little bit of water to add so that you have a kind of, I'd say tepid water is the best, because if the water's too warm, the rice paper gets kind of wrinkled, and if it's cold, then it takes quite a while. I'm going to show you with one of these white rice ones, because the brown rice ones are a little bit broken, which makes it a little extra challenging. You can get smaller rice paper, but then that's also challenging because, yeah, it's hard to get very many ingredients inside. I'm going to use a nice big plate to make the rolls on. And the rice paper stays in the water just for, it's actually already ready, so that was not long at all. But you just see, you want it slightly soft. Actually, it could be less soft than this because it'll continue to soften as I fill it with the ingredients and roll it up. So then you take a little bit of the noodles, put all the filling ingredients toward the back next to where you're standing. So the back edge, that's maybe a little bit much. Oh, I forgot to cut the tofu actually. Let's see. So once you pan fry the tofu, then you can just cut it in thin slices And then you can use, I don't know, 2 or 3 slices. I love to fill them as much as I can, but then of course that makes them harder to roll. So you just have to find that balance. A little bit of Chinese cabbage. A little bit of carrot. You know what else is really nice is like a little bit of red pickled cabbage, just because it, of course, it adds great flavor, but it also adds such a beautiful color. And then some mint leaves. And then some coriander. These are just almost starting to go to seed, but they're still nice. They're about 4 feet tall in the garden. And then a little bit of the spring onion. Okay, and then to roll them, let's see, this is in the way. You take this back edge and just handle it carefully. Use your fingers to hold the ingredients and just wrap it over. Once you get it slightly wrapped over, then take the left side and turn it in, and the right side and fold it in, and then continue to roll. See, and it's breaking. That's not good. Let's see if we can get this over the break. No. Voila. We have a Vietnamese spring roll. That's, let's see, let's
Can you
do
hold
one
it up?
more.
Simone, hold it up just a bit, a little bit higher. Hold it up just a bit higher. Ah, there you go. That's good.
It's got a little split. I think that light is, yeah. Let's do one more. I don't know why it split. I think maybe it got a little too soft already in the water. Okay, see, that's already okay. See, it's flexible, but it's not too soft.
Can you still see the pattern on the rice paper?
Absolutely, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, we've got some noodles, some tofu, Chinese cabbage. Some carrot. And then many people want to, when they sit down to eat one of these, they get out, they want the knife and fork. And I'm like, no, 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 no. You got to pick it up. You got to dip it in the sauce, and you should eat it like a burrito. So, and then actually sometimes it's good to just have the sauce in small bowls with a little spoon, because once you've dipped it the first time, then you kind of need a spoon to put some sauce on it after that. Otherwise, the insides start falling into the sauce. Okay, let's see how this one goes. This should work better. So again, you take the back edge and you just gently lift it up and over the ingredients. It's kind of tuck and roll. You want to roll it as tightly as possible without breaking it. So it's just figuring out how much tension you can put on it, and then fold in the left side, fold in the right side, and then continue to roll.
Beautiful.
There we are. And
Oh,
I love because you can see all the ingredients through the paper. Huh? Yeah.
it's nice to put a mint leaf or something right on the top so you see it through.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I find the camera's not that good, but you can see almost everything. So you can see how also some purple, sorry, yeah, like a red cabbage, pickled red cabbage would add beautiful color.
Mm.
Or some bell pepper, some slices of red bell pepper. Avocado, of course, is very tasty.
So you don't cut it to serve it.
No, I mean, I don't think these are the largest wrappers that I've had. We did sometimes cut them in the restaurant when we served them as a starter. You just have to see, but these seem pretty short. I have the feeling that if I cut them in half, you know, they're gonna kind of fall apart and there's not much left. So that one's not too bad. It's just a little broken. This is the brown rice. Let's do one with the brown rice. And I guess we just have a few minutes left, but if anyone
Yeah,
has
we're about time. Yeah. Does anyone have
Yeah.
questions? Let's see.
yeah, if anyone has any questions, more than
I
happy.
see that Carl Ferre is ready for the next time, and Sherry Damaris has been here for a little while. And we're
Oh,
waiting for the
great.
Waxmans to come on.
Okay, great. Well, it's wonderful that you bring everyone together like this, Hanat, and
Oh, it's great.
try to keep the inspiration and
Mhm.
interaction flowing. I think we need community and connection more than ever right now.
Always.
Right? Always, but it's just been highlighted by the by this what's going on in the world at the moment. So it feels more important than ever. So,
That's awesome. Thank you.
very
Wonderful.
welcome. So our last roll together. I wish you all great success with making these at home. And then if you have any questions, you feel free to email me.
I'll put your email address in the recipes. Are you sending me recipe for this? Is it written up?
I did actually, yeah.
Did you send it? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I like to make several of these and have them handy so that when I'm just ready for a nosh, a snack, I have it.
Okay. I do that more with sushi. I find that these don't hold up for that long.
Mm.
But like a wet paper towel, or just putting them in a glass dish and then covering it with cling film, plastic. That is the best way the best ways that I've found to keep them for later.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
Your video shut off on the other camera, on the
Yeah, it
cell
looks
phone.
like someone's trying to call.
Yeah. All right.
There we go. Yeah, good. All right. I love these brown rice ones. They just have a slightly nicer taste. Yeah, and they have this beautiful, not the bleached kind of white look, but just beautiful light brown. Oh yeah, they're much more attractive to a brown rice girl like me.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Whoop.
Oh, could light that up. Huh?
Yeah. So
Good.
Thank you so
All
much
right,
for having me.
Simone.
And I'm glad we got the
Yes.
camera in order eventually. Sorry that
Well, you
wasn't.
did a great job. You really, it's a lot of fun.
Thank you
So
so
thank
much.
you for having us to your beautiful home. And
Most welcome.
great.